The 70s gave us Stairway to Heaven, but the 80s turned power ballads into arena-filling heartbreak. From Poison's Every Rose to Hearts Alone, bands like Journey, Def Leppard, and Scorpions proved emotion could be loud. These aren't just songs, they're the soundtracks of a rock generation. Late Night Heartbreak never sounded so raw. Bret Michaels wrote "Every Rose Has Its Thorn" in a laundromat after calling his girlfriend and hearing another man's voice on the line. The betrayal hit hard, and the song came fast. Released in 1988 on Open Up and Say, "Ah!" It stripped away the glam and left nothing but acoustic honesty. The steel guitar, twangs with country influence, and Bret's voice, cracked, sincere, and painfully human. It wasn't just a power ballad, it was a confession. Fans connected instantly, making it Poison's only #1 hit and one of the most recognizable songs of the decade. For all the leather and eyeliner, Every Rose Has Its Thorn proved that vulnerability could still rock, and sometimes even louder than distortion ever could. By the early 80s, Journey had mastered arena rock, but Faithfully showed they could master intimacy too. Faithfully is more than a ballad, it's a promise. Written by Jonathan Cain in a moment of clarity on a tour bus, the song balances the tension between fame and fidelity. He brought it to Steve Perry, who instinctively knew it had to be sung gently, like a prayer. Released in 1983 on Frontiers, it wasn't Journey's biggest hit, but it struck a chord that still echoes today. Cain's piano sets the emotional tone, while Perry's soaring voice gives it weight and grace. It became an anthem for anyone missing someone miles away, a song of devotion in a life built on distance and goodbyes. Decades later, it still plays softly through open windows on late-night drives home. Started as a song for Tina Turner and ended up a Whitesnake classic. David Coverdale co-wrote Is This Love with John Sykes during a writing session intended for someone else, but the track fit Whitesnake like a glove. Released in 1987 on their self-titled album, it brought sensuality and restraint to a band known for riffs and swagger. The clean guitars, breathy vocals, and slow-burning tempo made it a standout, and a radio staple. 'Cause it's really got a hold on me. Coverdale's delivery is smooth and aching, asking a question that feels as uncertain as it is timeless. It peaked at #1, 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, and showed that even hard rock bands could wear their hearts on their sleeves and still fill arenas. Behind the smoke and lights, this song proved that softness could shine just as bright. Known for chaos, decadence, and distortion, Mötley Crüe shocked fans with the vulnerability of Home Sweet Home. This wasn't just a power ballad, it was a turning point. Released in 1985 on Theater of Pain, it showed a different side of the band, reflective, nostalgic, even tender. Tommy Lee composed the piano melody during a quiet moment on the road, and suddenly the loudest band in LA had something soft to say. At first, the label resisted it. Ballads didn't sell, they said, but fans proved them wrong. MTV helped push the video into heavy rotation, and by 1987, the song had become a Crüe classic. It inspired a wave of similar ballads across the glam metal scene, bands trying to match that emotional punch. Home Sweet Home didn't just break the mold, it redefined it. It wasn't supposed to be a hit. It wasn't even supposed to be a rock song. Love Bites started as a country-influenced ballad until producer Mutt Lange transformed it into Def Leppard's most haunting track. Released in 1987 on Hysteria, it became the band's only #1. One single in the US, but it's far from their usual sound. The pacing is slow, the production is dense, and Joe Elliott's vocal is pure ache. The song is built on contrast. Soft harmonies collide with sharp guitars, sweet melodies darkened by lyrics about betrayal and longing. It doesn't explode, it unfolds like a slow-motion heartbreak. Love Bites isn't just a ballad. It's the sound of regret echoing through stadium speakers. Big, bold, and uncomfortably honest. It's White Lion may have been part of the glam metal wave, but When the Children Cry proved they had something deeper to say. The song was born out of reflection, not romance. Released in 1987 on their breakthrough album Pride, it tackled global issues: war, suffering, the loss of innocence. There are no drums, no walls of guitar, just Mike Tramp's voice and Vito Bratta's acoustic playing. It's a rare moment of restraint in a genre known for excess. Instead of volume, it offers vulnerability. And the message? Still painfully relevant. At the height of glam rock's popularity, When the Children Cry stood out by standing still, soft, steady, and serious. It became a surprise hit, showing that even in a world of hairspray and power chords, compassion could chart. Germany's Scorpions weren't strangers to ballads, but Still Loving You took emotional intensity to another level. Released in 1984 on Love at First Sting, the song stretches over 6 minutes and builds like a storm. It's a desperate attempt to win back a lost love, told through soaring vocals and powerful dynamics. Klaus Meine's voice moves from whisper to wail while the guitars melt into sweeping harmonies. The song found massive success in Europe, particularly France, where it sparked rumors that it caused a spike in birth rates. No joke. Still Loving You became the ultimate slow burn ballad, theatrical, heartfelt, and thunderous. It showed that power ballads didn't have to be brief or formulaic. Sometimes heartbreak deserves a 6-minute symphony. Skid Row burst onto the late 80s scene with raw energy, but I Remember You revealed their melodic muscle. It wasn't just another power ballad, it was a showcase for what made them different. Released in 1989 from their debut album I Remember You was a song about love that slipped away, but never really left. It hit especially hard because it felt real, not polished or distant, but personal. Sebastian Bach's voice moves from fragile to ferocious, holding nothing back. The band follows him with power and control, never drowning him out. It quickly became a fan favorite, played at proms and breakups alike, giving Skid Row more than just edge. They gave them heart. For a band known for attitude, this was the moment they opened the door and let us in. Night Ranger was known for upbeat rock anthems, but this piano ballad changed everything. Sister Christian was written by drummer Kelly Keagy for his younger sister, worried she was growing up too fast. Released in 1984 on Midnight Madness, it begins tender and reflective, then explodes into that iconic chorus, "Motoring, what's your price for flight?" Keagy sang lead himself, giving the song an unexpected intimacy. Fans didn't just hear it, they felt it. The track became the band's biggest hit, reaching #1, 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, and turning Night Ranger into unlikely ballad kings. It's a song about innocence fading, and the moment you realize time doesn't slow down, even when your heart wants it to. Heart had already dominated the 70s, but Alone marked their powerful reinvention in the MTV era. Originally written by Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly, the song found its true form with Ann and Nancy Wilson. Released in 1987 on Bad Animals, Alone starts in a whisper and ends in a storm. Ann Wilson's voice trembles with vulnerability in the verses, then launches skyward in the chorus. It reached number one on the Billboard Hot 100, and cemented Heart's comeback with a generation that knew them from music videos, not vinyl. The production is classic 80s, layered, dramatic, widescreen, but the emotion never feels fake. It's heartbreak with teeth. Decades later, Alone is still that song you sing when no one's around, or when you need to remind yourself just how powerful being broken can sound. These ballads defined a decade, broke a few hearts, and never left our playlist. Hey, let's hear them one more time, louder than ever.
Every rose has its thorn. Scented on my love along the wire. Is this love that I'm feeling? I'm on the way. Oh, sweet home. Making love to you might drive me crazy. And the children cry. Let them know we tried.